Hey guys, welcome back to the 35th Mill. Today we're here to tell you about American Assassin.
Yes, this is a European take on an American action film, I guess, because it's Canal Plus.
Yeah.
Or Studio Canal, sorry.
And Lionsgate.
And
yeah,
Lionsgate.
it was a little bit odd.
Yes, so, yeah, it's an interesting one in that an American assassin gallivants around in Europe looking for people to end the life of,
Yeah,
I guess. That's a good way of putting it.
as a means of revenge.
Well, it starts as revenge and then almost just becomes whatever it became.
Yeah. It's not quite clear on that. What it is clear on, though, is having some very strong performances from its two leads.
Yes.
Both Dylan O'Brien and Michael Keaton are electric. And
Nuclear, in fact.
Yeah. And the play back and forth between the two of them makes the film exceptionally entertaining.
It is. Exceptionally entertaining or just entertaining? I would say just entertaining.
Just the scenes with the two of them. The rest
Yeah,
of
fair
it,
enough.
the rest of it, unfortunately, lets itself down a little bit, and there's certainly some pacing issues there.
Well, what I found between the first and second act and then the third act was almost that from the first and second act, it felt like it was like a nice kind of. It was doing its thing. It was going to set itself as a bit of a an all rounder. Like it performed all right. It wasn't anything special, but it performed all right. And then they kind of felt like they got a bit carried away with themselves and went completely overboard for the final act. And to me, it cost them their placing as a good all rounder because it got too carried away and was messy and just a bit ridiculous.
There were certain things they did really well. So I thought that having strong performances was quite nice, and that it took a serious tone, that it didn't try to make light of it and make it into what could have very easily been a very teenage, angsty action flick where you get the girl and this, that, and the other.
And then this father figure there
Yeah.
looking in.
Yeah, it broke down a few of those stereotypes, but at the same time, very predictable. I called the ending, 10, 20 minutes before it happened?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you did.
And then in the time space between, we had to watch some very, very painful CGI.
Painful CGI. But no, and you also nailed it in the predictableness. It was very, very to the template, you know. Very, you knew what sort of things were going to be, you know, a hiccup along the way, and then how it was going to resolve itself. Yeah, very predictable.
Yeah, they weren't interested in diverting too much from the formula, but maybe that's the way the novel goes. It is based on a novel. Neither of us have read it, so we're not quite sure where it's meant to fall in line with that. I guess what I took from it was that I thoroughly enjoyed the two leads, and
Michael Keaton was awesome. Like he was seriously cool. Like everything, everything that he had to say, and his persona, and his calm and coolness and collectiveness. I guess 3 C's. He was fantastic. Like he was him. And that's what this film needed, is something to make it a bit different.
We're enjoying a really good resurgence from Michael Keaton at the moment, and this is just another great piece in his catalogue. And
big fish in a little pond for this one.
Yeah, and I mean, I noticed toward the end there was a particular scene where his inner Beetlejuice made an appearance. He had the crazy eyes and the movements, it was all there, and it was great to see. And to see him playing a character that was just a little different from what we're normally treated to. It was quite nice. And then you gotta remember, this is Mr. Mum. Look how far he's come. Anyway, like, he was really good, and let's not take away from Dylan O'Brien, who could very easily walk the path of being, you know, the teen heartthrob performer. And I mean, he was in Teen Wolf, he was the lead, but this was a very meaty role for him, and he took to it quite well and made the film a lot better than what it was or what it really should be seen as.
Yep.
So, I mean, you go because it's interesting on the face of it, but you stay for these performances.
Yeah, exactly right. Which brings us to our scores then.
I'm going to let you go first this time.
Oh, thanks. Because I've been trying to... I don't know where this one sits, because I didn't not enjoy it, but I didn't... It was kind of just... It just was what it was. So, Same reasons for technical level. I don't know what. Again, I don't know the novel, so I don't know whether it plays completely true to that or whether it completely goes off course and is a bit random compared to the novel. So, look, the lackluster CGI at the end there brought it down a bit. So I'll probably give it like a 5, in that it wasn't anything special. There was nothing special about it. I thought some brilliant performances from the actors, but well, you can't really say much else to it. That's why it gets right in the middle. Personally, probably like a 4 or a 5. It was I don't have much thought on it, in that it was just not special in any way, really.
No, it's not.
It wasn't as dark or interesting as I thought it was going to be, but there are other examples of worse movies. So, it did fine. It just sat in the middle of the run. I don't think much of it. That's about it.
Yeah, look, on a technical level, 5. Definitely a 5. It, what it lacks in its technological advances as a movie, it makes up for with strong leads. It's tricky because pacing was really bad, and there were some great particular set pieces, but the overall felt very disjointed. So I'm giving it a 5, but that's still being a little generous. On a personal note, 5 again, actually. I thoroughly enjoyed watching the two of them. I liked the idea of what was going on. I liked that it wasn't this sort of teenagey thing where he goes off, saves the world, and gets the girl, and that. It's almost like the what happens after that, or doing it in reverse. And that was interesting to me. I just had a real issue with the pacing and the fact that I might have micro-napped a couple of times during the film. But that, to be fair, that's because we had just watched Mother just beforehand, which is also why we're being a little bit generous with the score for this one, because we came out of Mother and then into this, and anything was going to be a saving grace after that. But yeah, look, 5 and 5 for me. Look, don't rush to the cinema for it, but definitely if you find it on Netflix or whatever your streaming service is, give it a watch. Good midweek movie.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And just quickly, one other point, because I sometimes forget to talk about things that I want to talk about. One thing on it, there were some weird relationships going on. Like, some people were building as if, again, Michael Keaton was like a father figure, at times, that kind of that boss, but that father figure. But I can't remember her name. The lead female, not lead female. The foreign agent.
Oh, the girl.
With him. Yeah, like unnecessary hints at some sort of love interest kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know what she was doing.
Like, it just unnecessary. It was not needed. But anyway, that's about all I have to say for this.
It's an alright film. There's worse out there, but there's also better out there. So, up to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, when you do eventually get around to it, we'd like to hear your thoughts on it. So, as usual, check out comments below and be sure to leave a few words for us. We'd like to read it. Maybe write back. Never know.
We'll see.
Why
See how
not?
we feel. Yeah. Check us out on any of our other films here on YouTube or on Facebook at the 35th Mill. Until next time.
Yep.